Well, he's.
There's
Uh-oh.
Craig.
Yay! Thanks, Dad.
You're
Thanks,
welcome.
Dad.
Boys.
How is Craig going to
Hey.
get turned off at the end?
Hey.
Bye.
Oh, well, I guess we're gonna figure out how he gets turned off.
You see, prayers do work sometimes, guys.
Sometimes.
All right. So, is everybody in here right now so they can hear the description?
Hi.
I think Meg left.
Yeah, I think Meg went.
Going to get some tissues.
Yes.
Meg, are you dead?
Speaking of tissues, I should probably blow my nose real quick. I'm not sniffling
No,
in
how
Craig's ear.
rude.
Okay. So, there's a long ass description. I'm sorry, but here we go. Ready?
I am not dead.
I'm ready.
Perfect. If I read this terribly, I am sorry. I'm not good at reading. Here we go. Harlow wakes as the sun crests over the horizon, illuminating the mother tree and his tribe gathered beneath her. Their ceremony begins his final journey to become chieftain of his tribe. The tribe gathers around him, praying and singing only as the Loxodons do, preparing him with the rites to follow the footsteps of the chieftains before him towards... Oh, hold on. I lost it. Following the footsteps of the chieftains before him towards Loruna Malai, where the one remaining river of the Broken Hills forms a delta with the ocean. As the rites end, his companions gather near him, and Harlow bows to his mother, receiving her final blessing as her trunk touches the top of his head. From her, he receives a white robe and divests himself of all weapons, armor, and adornments, giving them to his companions. The sun fully rises over the distant horizon as Harlow turns and begins his journey. A full day of travel, walking without rest, awaits Harlow on his walk to the Loruna Malai, enduring any dangers that may await. Upon arriving at the mouth of the Loruna Malai, Harlow enters the river, bows to the 4 cardinal directions, seats himself in the current, and meditates. As the sun begins to set and the moon shines its gentle light upon Harlow, he is brought into a white plain where familiar figures stand before a simple door, devoid of decoration. A long mist familiar laugh echoes through the space. Sprig stands there, hand outstretched. My friend, it is about time that you have been here. We have been waiting for quite some time. In you go, my friend. And Sprig pushes Harlow in. Beyond the door, sitting in a winding spiral, are all former guardians and chieftains of the tribe. The one chieftain sitting center is Cairo, father of Harlow. Cairo greets his son and says, "Welcome, Harlow, my son, new chieftain of the Tardums. We have watched you through this journey and have been pleased with what we have seen. However, we feel a weight sitting upon your conscience. Please speak your piece and share with us your thoughts." At this point, Harlow brings forth the matter of his brother Carlo to his ancestors. So, at this point, before we start, I would love each person to introduce your ancestor. Let me start in the correct order. So, the first one, this is going in chronological order of like guardians, of like eldest. The first one we have is Kyle's character. Kyle, go ahead.
How do you want me to say his name?
Yes.
Perfect. Throatum. Is that close enough?
Yep, that is perfect. Your name is Trodum. The name Tardum, which is the clan's name, derives from your name.
Oh God, I'm awesome.
All right.
Wait, what was the other half that I needed to do?
Just that right now. Just your name.
Perfect.
So
Yeah, I'm awesome. That's perfect.
Yep. Trodum is the eldest of the tribe. The next we have is Penny.
Liddy. Is that right?
Yep, Liddy. A female Loxodon. Next we have is Meg's character.
Ashanti?
Yes. The first druidic caretaker of the tribe. Next we have Tim.
Basha.
Yes. Vasha was the clan leader at the start of the Loxodon and Minotaur.
Schism.
Yes. And finally, Rex.
Still blowing his nose.
Sorry. I am playing Cairo, father of Harlow.
Nice.
Ah,
And in
the
this
daddy
situation,
makes sense now.
yes, the daddy joke makes sense. And Rex, to your question, still no. So, again, in this situation, I am playing the DM, but I am also playing Harlow. So I am going to try my best to blend as much as and separate as much as I can, but also still kind of lead the session. So, at this point, Harlow is bowing to all 5 main elders and guardians of the tree, and bows lower to Cairo and says, "Father, this journey has been harder than I would have imagined. There is so much going on in the world, and I don't even know where to start. I think it's best to start with that we have found the Mother Tree's family. There's more than just her. And they are all sick with this blight that is poisoning our land. But there's more that's weighing on me. As we were coming home, we encountered Carlo. And Carlo was struck down due to him attacking us."
Yes, I may have been able to see those events.
And then,
I will say that you have done admirably.
but how is it fair for a brother to strike down a brother? How is it? But it's still not fair that Carlo struck down you.
Life is not fair, son. You see, I knew the moment that he struck me down that you must be the one to avenge me, although I did not wish it. I wished for you to have an easier journey than I had, but I'm glad that you have had to go through this, as it made you the wonderful man that you are today. Kind, caring, exceptionally strong.
Thank you for those blessings. As much as it as the world is struggling with the blight right now, my focus is on permission and the blessing to bring back Carlo back to the tree, to fill his spot in the tree. And I am asking all of the elders here for their blessing and thoughts on this matter.
Damn time he died.
I didn't see
Cairo
it as
does-
much of a loss.
Cairo does look to the other elders, and he at her throws his arms wide, says, "Well, let us discuss."
Hello, can you answer me one question?
Yes.
Why?
Why? Why am I asking
Yes.
Carlo to come home?
Why?
Family is still family. Life still comes from the blessing of the tree, does it not? Are we not gifted by the blessing of Mother?
Family is only as far as you take it. Family can be lost. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's Carlo. Come on.
Yes, but all life does deserve to live, does it not?
Penny, roll a d4 for me, please.
That's a triangle looking one, right?
Yep.
Okay. How do I read it, by the way?
Whatever
Whichever
the
one's
top
in the
number,
pointy end. Yeah.
Sorry, what was that?
whatever the top number is reading up.
That's a 3.
That's a 3. Perfect.
Mhm.
Perfect. Continue.
Are you sure all life deserves to live? I mean, how can we say that?
Well, how can we say that they do not? Clearly they were put here for a purpose. What purpose it may be, whether it be to create the strife that creates the heroes like my son, or whether it's to be the heroes, or just to be the everyman.
Either way, it isn't just their purpose. Other forces come into play, such as we. If we decide not to bring them back, that's our choice, not theirs.
Very true, very true.
But
Carlo looked at. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. Who just talked?
I was going to say,
That's good.
and when did we lose our chance to say who was the next chieftain? Who picked Harlow?
Harlow goes, it's the blessing from the ancestral line where my father Cairo was leading. I was second in line behind my brother. Carlo did not agree with how Cairo was passing time and trying to heal. Carlo believed that answers were from actions. And his actions took my father. Kyle, roll a D6.
4.
Okay, thank you.
Harlow, you didn't answer my question.
Why to bring him back?
You answered objectively. I wasn't looking for an objective answer. I was asking you.
He's my brother. No matter the wrongs he did, he's still my brother.
Do you really believe that? Is that what you really think? Or are you saying that because family is bond? But again, I'll say it again, and always, a family bond is only as far as it stretches. Doesn't mean that they're granted any kind of free pass, should we say?
Elder Liddy, you are correct that family goes so far. And that word in this situation could be viewed loosely. But at the end of the day, I know my brother was affected by this blight in some way or another. And I don't think his actions were his own volition.
And what proof do you have?
In the final moments that we saw him, myself and my friends who were traveling with me began to see the green in his veins, the green in his eyes. Yes, it was faint, but it was that green and black poison that has been driving not even this land, but everywhere.
So is that his excuse for killing Cairo? Are we just going to let him roll through and do whatever he wants, even after death?
Ooh. Roll a D8. What did you get, Kyle? Hello?
Kyle?
Have we lost Kyle?
Oh shit, the dice killed him.
Oh no.
He stepped on a D4.
Kyle, we don't eat the dice. Come on.
What? Tell me why I went to put my D20 in my mouth as soon as you said that.
But they're tasty, Tim!
I'm just fiddling with it immediately.
Penny,
Power of
you
suggestion
are going to
strong.
lose your shit when you find out that there are candy dice.
Oh my
What do you mean I don't put the D20 in my ass?
God.
So you gotta do at least like a D100 or something. Wow.
No, you get those big chunkers.
Oh, imagine like a D20 jawbreaker.
Oh!
Ooh, ow.
I'm kind of not surprised.
No, there's a market.
Kyle?
Kyle?
Yeah.
Back.
Yeah, he's back.
Second time.
What did you get on your D8?
That's 2. It's just like playing video games. You know, crashes every other time.
All right. So I really like that question. Can you repeat it again so I can just hear it again?
Shit.
You said because the blight is affected him, that's his reason to strike down Cairo.
Yeah, what you're going to give him a free pass even before that? What was his reason? Are we just going to let him keep rolling through this even at death? You can't give him more excuses. Actions have consequences.
That's
You
true.
can't fault a future chieftain for trying to take charge. It's what they do.
But we can
But we can't
for
condone
stepping out of
violence.
line.
Yes.
But a future chieftain is supposed to be able to deliver
Before.
punishments as needed and understand when someone needs to be reprimanded.
I
We
believe that
become this
Harlow.
many generations.
I believe that Harlow does understand when punishment is needed, as is he did dispatch Carlo.
Willingly?
Whether that is to be said is up to Harlow.
It broke my heart in many ways. One, to see my father pass, and two, to banish my own brother because of the fall of my father. How can one man be okay with both sides of that coin?
Sometimes it's for the good of the tribe.
And you do not have to be okay with it. That's just how things are sometimes. You don't have to be okay with it for it to just be.
Penny, roll a d6. Rex, roll a d4.
A 5.
2.
Okay. At the end of the day, yes, he devastated the tribe. I can't even imagine how my mother felt in that moment. Nor do I want to. But everybody deserves a chance to start new, no matter how many chances needed.
Don't you think that's a bit late now?
Say he was banished. That was his chance. And yet all he did was come back and attack the tribe.
He is one man. One. Out of everybody else in the tribe, he is one person. What makes you think one person deserves this over everybody else? After everything that he did?
My counter argument to you, Liddy, is maybe he was a part of Harlow's journey. He was a part of Harlow's tests. Not to side with Harlow here, but to just provide devil's advocate.
And what does that change? Again.
Excuses. That is all that these are.
Maybe. I'm not saying that he needs to earn it.
What was that, John?
D6.
Five.
Believe me, when I was struck down, it broke my heart that it was by my own son. However, knowing that my other son, would eventually right the wrongs done by his elder, gave me hope. Now, me personally, I do not think that Carlo should have a chance in in this afterlife. However, I am just saying we hear Harlow out without our own convictions getting in the way.
My friends, if I may.
The floor is yours,
It's-
Ashanti.
It's true that the blight has had its effect on Carlo, and that that is no excuse for what he's done. However, I believe that he was also he was troubled. I feel that his spirit it's angry.
Meg,
Because
D8. And then you can continue.
4. Without the guidance of the mother tree, he has been his spirit has been led astray.
Let it be angry. Let it.
Now, Ashanti,
D8 again, Meg.
8.
may I continue?
Yep.
Okay. You say that, but even when Carlo was under the mother tree, that was when he was troubled most. That was why he cut me down. Or rather, when.
But Father, I don't know. I would disagree that he was troubled most then. I think he misunderstood his role during that time.
Make no mistake. I do understand what you are trying to say with that statement. But he actively chose to strike me down before the madness that was provided to him by the blight, while under the protection of the mother tree.
D6, Rex.
3.
Then perhaps Carlo's spirit was already troubled.
But let's not focus on Carlo's spirit for a moment. Let's talk about Harlow's spirit, if we shall.
Harlow looks up to Cairo and makes eye contact during this moment.
Cairo does look lovingly at Harlow, yet there's a slight pain in his eyes. You are the best of both myself and Chala. And I'm glad to see that you have grown as much as you have on your journeys, on your travels. However, Carlo made his decisions. I would like it if you could see that those decisions have consequences and While yes, I believe that he can be buried properly within the Mother Tree's embrace, I do not believe that his spirit should join us in this afterlife. I do not believe that he has earned that honor.
D6 and a D4. Tell me them separately.
D6 was 2, and D4 was 2.
What needs to be done is to burn the body, trap the soul on Earth, and let it perish in anguish. Stuck
But is it-
there.
But is it really
that wouldn't
right?
cure the blight. That wouldn't cure his soul of the blight.
We're not trying to cure his soul. This is a punishment.
But is it really right to
Kyle, D4.
trap his soul and let an already angry spirit fester?
Sometimes that is the best. Anger isn't something
That's
that
a
we
3.
move away from. Sorry, what was that?
No, I just was letting John know it was a 3. But keep going.
Anger isn't something we should shy away from all the time. It isn't something that we should treat as taboo. Sometimes anger needs to fester. It needs to be left to rot in its own wake. It's how... Look at everyone else. Look how everybody else works. It's normal. Sometimes it's just the best thing to do.
When you have a field of crops and you start to see some of them wither and die of disease, do you not cut it out with that plant, or do you allow it to spread?
Penny and Rex, D4s.
That's a 3.
Same, also a 3.
That is but one analogy or one reference. What if it is a group of bandits coming to attack? Why not use something to scare them? The body, the spirit. Why not reference it as a plant to be taken out to save the rest? Why not make them fear the rest or what has happened? Understand that we need to right this and move on, to punish those that would dare hurt the tribe.
But to rebuttal you, Father,
Yes.
we must clear the crop. Would we also must have to take out one of Mother Tree's sisters, in your words?
No. I said clear the one, not the many.
And I'm asking clear the one. If we knew that a blight came from a sister who turned, should we not clear that spirit? Sorry, giving Harlow a D8 on that one.
Well then, Harlow. Dear child, I ask you this. If with your analogy, if you feel that crop has a chance of being saved, how far would you go to save it?
Harlow
By that-
pauses.
By that, I mean, do you personally think that Carlo's spirit is beyond redemption?
No. I do not believe it's beyond redemption. To clear a field is to weaken your survival. Yes, at that time you may notice that there are crops in that group where the blight is coming through. In that moment, you groom and clean as best as you can. And in those moments, you separate it by pot. You do not separate it from its family, but you still grow it within the pots, within the group.
Harlow, may I remind you, you can love from afar. You can be family from afar. By not bringing Carlo back to the mother tree, doesn't mean that Carlo wouldn't be your family still. But he'd be family from afar. Nothing wrong with that.
To have family from afar would not be giving him the closure and peace that his soul deserves.
Does it deserve that, though?
In what way does it deserve closure?
Look to
Out
the
of
future,
character.
Harlow.
Closure for your soul instead of his.
Out of
Are you
character.
trying to make amends for him?
Go on, Meg.
Carlo was banished after he killed Cairo, right?
Yes, Carlo was banished by Harlow.
And
Okay.
also, he was trying to steal the Mother Tree's power at the time, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
that's
I
why
think
that's when Cairo walked in and
yes,
went
he
down.
was. I think that it was said that Carlo had tried to chop down the mother tree because of his anger and his resentment.
Oh,
Carlo believed that the power could be, instead of just blessed in small doses,
Could be
being
taken.
controlled in larger amounts. In that he felt it was only through full control of the tree. If he absorbed the tree's powers fully. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, continue, everyone. Sorry.
So in that moment, it was not known whether or not that Carlo was blighted when that moment happened. But it could be examined or to see maybe if that was happened when he struck the tree.
Blight is not slow growing. The blight is fast and efficient. So
we know of some instances where it is fast and efficient. We know of most instances, actually. However, look to the example of Flaint's uncle Dussel. His uncle had been dealing with the blight for years. And as far as Flaint knew, he was only he had only just recently made the transformations that he had made. But anyways, if I may, Cairo looks to Harlow and says, I understand your willingness to forgive, son, but Carlo, if we allow him into this spiritual council, could potentially poison the minds of future leaders, future generations of the tribe. I don't
Harlow
believe we should allow that.
Harlow stands, absorbs that information, and says, if Carlo is given the blessing and his soul is not purified in that moment, I will sacrifice my spot to purify his.
Cairo raises his eyebrows.
But he is not the only one that I want to bring back to the tree.
Yes, I believe that you have also brought the Minotaurs.
Everybody deserves to be back into the blessings. I am trying to understand them even though I don't know them well. I feel like they can help us cure this blight and purify this land again, bring it back to the lush fields that it was. Harlow looks to Vasha and says, I know you struggled and had your schism with the Minotaurs, and I am not discrediting that and saying that it was not difficult. But would you not agree that all life deserves to be blessed?
All life should be blessed, but the Minotaurs were a jealous people that lashed out at us because the Mother Tree chose us as her guardians. We had to drive them away to fulfill the Mother Tree's will.
D4, Tim.
Cairo kind of clears his throat and
2.
says, Vasha, there's more than one way to deal with jealousy. And I'm not condoning you for your efforts against them during that time. But I do agree with Harlow that they are showing promise in making changes that need to be made.
Yet, you don't think the same could be the case with Carlo? I
Meg,
feel as though...
D8.
Sorry?
D8, Meg. Fucking
that was a good one. Cairo.
2. I wasn't finished, sorry.
Sorry.
I feel as though history is repeating itself a little here.
Exactly.
With the Minotaurs, it seems that with a bit of hard work and just with actually standing and trying to understand where they're coming from, it seems that you were able to fix what was previously broken.
Meg,
So
2d8.
2d8s?
2d8s.
So who's to say the same can't be done with Carlo? That is a 7 and a 2.
With all due respect, we are talking about two very different things.
Are we though?
Agreed.
We are talking.
They
Carlo. Sorry, go on.
Well, Carlo, for one, has passed while he was still vengeful and angry, whereas the Minotaurs are still living. They are
And
they are showing change.
Carlo is one person. One
But
person.
do you not feel that he already lived out his punishment?
No.
He was banished. He
And
spent
yet returns.
the last years of his life.
But yet he returns and causes more issues. That
Perhaps-
is not fixing.
But how
Perhaps
do we
the
say that
reason-
was his soul's decision? How do we say that he was not corrupted in that moment to take revenge?
Need I remind you who brought you to the hills for safety? Need I remind you who watched these hills be broken by the blight? How the blight has affected everyone, the entire tribe, and yet not everyone had acted how Carlo has acted. I won't take the corruption as a reason for why he suddenly acted the way he did, or why he should come back to the Mother Tree, or why his punishment of banishment is the only way that he should have been punished. I won't accept that.
Penny, D4, please.
2.
Thank you.
We understand this, Liddy. And that is why I have mentioned what I have. I do not like the idea of Harlow here giving up his spot, as he is showing great promise as a potential spirit guide for future generations. If Carlo is to prove to not be worthy. However, that could be something to be considered, an equal trade.
In what way is it Harlow's responsibility, though? This is what I'm struggling to
Is it not the
comprehend.
leader of this position's duty to protect the lives, not only the lives, but the souls of the people present, past, and future?
What I mean is it is not your responsibility to come here and wager Carlo's acceptance into the Mother Tree based on his actions, his choices. He is accountable for, he is responsible for. He is one person, and him alone is the only person responsible and to be held accountable for what he did. No one else. No one else is
I
accountable.
agree
Carlo,
that he needs to be held accountable. And I agree that I feel to earn his place here, Carlo must see what he has done wrong, and he must feel remorse.
Carlo,
Well said.
However,
Meg, D6.
I don't feel that there is any harm in nudging Carlo's spirit in the right direction. That was a 3, by the way.
Thank you. Harlow looked. I think it was Tim who said something next, right?
I wasn't looking to talk, but yes, Carlo in his life, he made his choices, made his decisions, and showed no willingness or no movement towards any feelings of remorse or regret for his actions. And as such, I I believe he should be punished as well.
But how do we know he had no remorse before the blight took over? Elder, I do not mean to interrupt you, but in those I've seen people be taken by the blight and right before it goes show tears and say, "I'm sorry." How do we not know that happened?
We can only evaluate that by his actions. And his life has come to an end, and there's no way for us to really show or see that any of that remorse. But that being said, Harlow, you are doing what you should do as a chieftain, as you said, in essentially going to bat for all the members, or that's not a member at this point, but all Loxodons in the tribe.
Harlow bows at Vasha and says, I would stand here in front of you all present and defend anybody, past, present, future. I believe
You should.
I believe everyone can show and learn remorse through their lessons, but they all learn it differently. Pell, sorry, Tim, D6 and a D8 for me, please.
Okay.
And that's, if I may jump in here, and that's why I believe that he does in body deserve the protection of the Mother Tree, but his spirit, I feel, may have wandered too far. If he had more life left in him, then I would be more considerate of allowing him to have earned his place. But having passed already, it is very difficult. I am very glad and very proud to see you be the leader that I know you could be in going to bat for your brother, no matter the cost. But you may have to learn to have a little bit more of a firm fist.
And Harlow, you must understand that sometimes people don't change. There isn't always the option of having someone show remorse eventually with the right lessons. In fact, if you want to show the utmost, well, not respect, but if you want to properly bat for your brothers, you have to also accept that some people just don't change. And that's okay too. That is simply nature.
Harlow sits there and goes, and nods and goes, but what about the flowers that bloom after the wildfires throughout our lands? What about the flowers that bloom through the poison ivy? What about
Those
the other ones
that
of
you,
our land who grow through these difficult challenges and adapt and learn?
The difference here is free will, Harlow.
mm,
We can talk in analogies all we want, but at the end of the day, they are analogies.
I
Flowers
do.
have free
Sorry.
will. Go on.
Penny
I do
Do you not-
agree.
Sorry,
D4.
D4. Go
I
on.
do agree that they are different beings, but I feel it is more different because that life you are mentioning, those flowers that are blooming, those are separate lives that are growing from the nutrients provided by the death and the decay of the things before. Let Carlo be a lesson, not a continued failure. Let his body be cured and purified of the blight with the mother tree. But his
But
But
spirit,
how are
I
we
think,
not failing
far.
him in that? Father, I do not mean to argue, but how are we not failing him as the elders who are here to protect and guide? Are we not failing him of letting his soul be fully united with us once again?
At this, Cairo does visibly tear up and start to shake a little. And Carlo, unfortunately, was my greatest failure. Because I too thought I could bring him to the light. I don't want to see you struggle through that as well. Now that
Carlo
he is
goes,
gone.
I think where we differ on this one is that I'm not bringing him into the light. In this moment, I am offering myself as a guide, and I will let his soul choose.
I think, sorry, this is out of character.
Uh-huh.
I'm kind of wondering about something semantic that we should talk to Ian about after these conversations.
Okay, what are you thinking of?
I'm thinking of having Carlo's spirit tied to Harlow from here on, instead of Movado.
Okay.
In that maybe that could be the way that he shows repentance.
And almost like change a paladin to a warlock almost?
Not necessarily, but kind of, yes.
I
Just
see what you're saying.
more
Celestial
changing your
lesson.
oath. Changing your oath from protecting the mother tree and all of her beings, or whatever your oath may be, to protecting those beings still, while also guiding the lost spirits, like Carlo. Sorry, this was still out
No,
of
I
character.
like that. I like that.
This is definitely something that you should talk with Ian about, though.
Well, good thing Ian's gonna listen to this.
Hey.
Yeah.
So either
Hey, quick,
Cairo
everyone
Hi,
get one free
Ian.
pass. Everyone, quick, go use your free pass.
Ooh.
Oh, well, Ian.
Daddy.
Ian, Daddy, ooh woo.
Anyway. In character,
Yes.
if I may, is death not also a symbol of change?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Is death not also a symbol of change? Is it an opportunity for change?
Tears
In
still in his
death,
eyes.
there are new things.
Never mind.
New beginnings.
New beginnings for the rest of the tribe? Sure. But for Carlo? I don't think so.
I stand by my decision of allowing Carlo to be buried with the tree till his body may be purified. However, I may offer a suggestion of giving Harlow a chance to redeem himself, much like we have given Movado a chance to redeem himself as well.
All of a sudden, you just hear from outside the door Movado going, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Vado, not the
Because-
time.
Because Movado has always just been a sassy motherfucker and had to redeem himself.
So Movado is Mushu, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Movado is Mushu and Sprig is the cricket.
Yeah.
And you hear Movado just going, "What the fuck?" And then Sprig just going,
Uh,
and
I
Harlow
propose.
this
shakes his head a second and goes, "If Carlo is to be on a journey, then I will, or a journey of redemption, then I offer my arm and support." And I pledge my support to help him as a guide for a guide.
That is my stipulation, I believe, son. Harlow. Allow... If you can redeem his soul through allowing him on your journey, then I think he would be allowed to join our ranks. How does the rest of the council feel about this?
I agree with you, Kyra. I feel like this is the right direction. I don't feel like this should be ruled with such rigidity. I feel like there is hope still.
Harlow bows to Ashanti.
Cairo looks to the other three and has an inquisitive look on his face.
Harlow should be buried at the base of the mother tree. He was not completely bad. He showed initiative and ambition, which are makings of a good leader, but he ultimately made decisions that should bar him from being here among us.
But you sent me on a journey to prove myself. Should we not send him on his own journey to show his redemption?
Life is the time in which you make journeys and go, are able to, show actions that would redeem yourself.
Come now, we know there's more after life.
You can't tell me that you made every decision perfect there,
I mean, are we not all standing here right now?
That's true, unfortunately.
Hope and equity are so often life's downfall. How can we hang on to a matter of hope? Why can we not just let some souls fester the way they should?
Because we all know that that's not what Mother Tree would want.
And this is the thing, lady. We are no longer bound by life. We have the rest of it. We have however long it takes. We could change.
We are potentially pulling in Carlo, angry, festering, into the Mother Tree on a matter of hope.
But you said it yourself. There's potential.
When did I say there was potential?
You said potentially.
You did say that there is potential for him to walk positively.
I misheard. I misinterpreted what you were saying. There's potential, yes, but it's not a death. I can't. It's just the risk that we are posing to the Mother Tree here. I can't allow it.
That's
Then-
why I proposed allowing Carlo spirits to follow Harlow in hopes that some of Harlow's spirit could cleanse Carlo's spirit, in hopes that through Harlow's guidance he could bring Carlo through the redemption that he needs.
We have all seen that Harlow is already an excellent leader. And I
Carlo
feel
slightly blushes.
that is exactly the person that Carlo's soul needs right now. He
We will
needs
corrupt Carlo's soul, and we will lose 2 souls instead of just 1.
Do you really
Why
have
are,
that
why are
little
we
faith
risking?
in Harlow?
We are risking a good soul to save a bad one.
Do you
Why
not
take the
feel
chance? We already are down 1 ancestor because of this.
Do you not
Why
feel that
risk
Harlow
2?
is strong enough
It's
to
not
take
on
on this task?
strength. It's not a matter of that. It's Carlo. It's anger is so contagious. So contagious.
Only if you let it be.
And I have seen Harlow control his anger in these journeys with his friends. I believe that these
Except that
friends.
one time in the mansion.
Yeah, well,
We don't talk about that.
we don't talk about the
Vura.
mansion. Yes, but I believe that through Harlow having this support of his friends and the tribe, as well as supporting his friends and the tribe, I think that there's no better teacher for Carlo than that. Because I believe that might be the thing that I never let Carlo see in my life, was how not only did I support the tribe, but the tribe supported me and guided me while I guided them.
But can we trust these friends? How can we be so sure that they are gonna be that support? What if one of them, or two of them, however many of them,
That's a Minotaur already.
Oh, come now. We're past this.
I say, let's call for a vote. Yea or nay, allow Carlo to be buried by the mother tree so his body may be purified, and his soul bound to Harlow, in hopes that Harlow and his companions may purify Carlo's soul. All in favor?
Aye.
I as well. Anyone else? Those
Aye.
opposed?
However,
Oh,
while I will say aye, if this goes wrong, if we lose Harlow, on top of everything we already have lost, we don't allow this kind of trial to happen again.
I agree.
agreed. Vasha, Throdrum, are you
Will
for
not
or
receive
against?
my vote. You will not receive my vote for this.
Understood. Vasha?
Let's see what they can do. Aye.
That's
That's it,
4 yeses. You're through to the next round.
Okay. That
Well, she gets
is
the assignment.
4-4 and 1 against. Harlow, you understand what this means, do you not?
I do. I
Good.
thank you for this opportunity and blessing of guidance. I won't disappoint you.
Let me end my portion of this with just one last thing. Do not guard your heart from him. Open it to him. I believe that is the only thing that may save him, is love.
I know you won't disappoint us, child. I have every belief in you.
Harlow bows to each elder and says, when the time is right, I will see you again, and Carlo will be with me. And things will be different. Thank you for your journeys. Thank you for your wisdom. And I thank you for this land. And Harlow bows each one more time.
Cairo stops him from bowing to him, and Cairo instead bows to Harlow, and then gives Harlow a wink after he does so.
Harlow takes a D8 of psychic damage. No. Harlow is just still like understanding this and just, oh, right. Huh. Weird. And so in this moment, everything fades from Harlow's view. and Harlow is sitting back in the currents of the river Delta.
Hey.
Giant peanut. Butter.
Hey,
And that's where we are going to end the session.
nice. Just so everyone knows, when he said thanks for this land, for some reason, this land is our land came to my
Yeah.
mind.
Oh no, I can't stop Craig.
I was gonna say, get Ian in here again.
We need
I
Ian.
love that.
Ian, Dad.
Everyone spam it with
Start praying.
needing help.
What?
Everyone spam the group chat saying Ian. But yes, I forgot my words and I said this land and immediately. Oh no.
Yeah, that was
Nice.
Craig is on the loose.
I can be screaming across the Discord. Right? No.
I love the different messages we all send.
The wheels on the wheels.
Can we rename Craig to Quake?
Queeg?
Quig.
Queeg is now recording. Oh, rip.
Who just left? Oh, did Rex leave?
Killed Rex. Yeah.
Ooh, Daddy, we need help. He's Quake is on the roof.
Don't let him escape.
It's scary.
Dad?
Dad.
There he is. He's alive.
Yay.
He's alive.
Father!
Hi, Dad.
Eddie.
So this took a very unexpected turn at the end.
Okay.
It's still recording, guys.
Do you need me to stop Craig?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Goodbye, Craig.
Bye, Quake.